Hey guys, I'm just going to do this quick refreshment on direction and storyline. So just in case some of you may have gotten confused or not sure. So for direction, you always use the monthly, weekly, and daily. That's the only three time frames that will give you the direction of the market. So a monthly will always go to a monthly. However, it will have a roadblock one time frame below, which is the weekly. And a weekly will go to a weekly, but it'll have daily roadblocks, right? And a daily will go to a daily, but it'll have H4 roadblocks. And then for setups and the hints that I look for, I use H4 and H1, right? But the roadblocks for H4 and H1 are essentially, the H4 to H4 will have H1 roadblocks, and the H1 to H1 will have M30 roadblocks. So the only thing that you really need to understand is direction, like monthly to monthly, weekly to weekly, daily to daily. And then the roadblock is just one time frame below. And then what you need to understand is that how does this story start and finish? It's by the time frame that price closed and fresh level that it respected. So basically it's just the time frame that price closes and respects a fresh level. So I'll give you an example, right? So with gold specifically, just so you can see how I figure out storyline and direction, it's very, very, very simple. So I'm just going to delete this for a second. So I'm going to start down here, right? So this is the fresh support, right? I always use the line charts, and I have a preference in using A's and V's to figure out where price is going. It's my personal preference. I prefer using that than OHLC. So you have to have standards for your trading, and you have to have a better way of basically playing with probabilities, right? So I'll give you an example. So this is the support level, right? Price respected this level on the weekly, right? So now a weekly storyline is in play, right? And then the only place that it could go to next, if you're looking for fresh levels, was this level, was the first one, and this was the second one, right? Now, if you go to the daily time frame, you'll notice that there was a pause because, if I go here to the daily, there's a pause because the daily has a roadblock here, right? This is a roadblock, this is a roadblock, and this is a roadblock, right? So if I go back to the chart, price found a daily roadblock, so a daily storyline has now started, right? Because it respected this fresh daily resistance, right? So daily is going to go to a daily now, because now there's a daily storyline in play, right? So where is daily going to go to? Well, I look at the next fresh level that's closest. I would use this because this is the HNS level, and this counts. So let me just go back, right? So you can see price respected that. So now price has to find the next daily level, right? However, when a daily storyline starts, there's 4-hour roadblocks, right? That's very, very important to remember. So what ended up happening was price ended up finding a fresh level of resistance. It respected it, right? So now a daily storyline is in play. As I mentioned to you, it's important to understand what time frame the candle closes, right? And level it respects. So now this candle respected the daily candle, right? So now where is it going to go? It's going to go to a daily level of support, right? Which is, this would be the next fresh level, or this would be the next fresh level. However, one time frame below is the roadblock, which is the 4-hour time frame, right? So let me just remove this. So let's go to the 4-hour time frame and let's see, right? So I'm just going to delete this for now. I'm going to delete this for now. I'm going to delete this one for now because price broke through it, right? And then I go to the 4-hour, and then this was the first roadblock on the 4-hour. So I go back to the daily now, and you can see the daily storyline started, and then it found the roadblock on the 4-hour. But you have to remember, a weekly will always go to a weekly, right? So the weekly storyline hasn't finished yet because it has to arrive at this area right here, right? So that's exactly what happened, right? So now let me remove all this. So another weekly storyline has started, right? And now weekly is going to come here next. The only reason it won't get there is if there's daily roadblocks, right? So now I go to the daily, right? the daily roadblocks I see is this one. This is where it would come first, right? So if I go to the chart, you can see. So weekly storyline has started, right? It found a roadblock on the daily, right? Now daily is going to go to a daily level, which is here, unless it gets a 4-hour roadblock, right? So now a daily storyline is in play, right? So a daily is going to go to the daily is supposed to come to here next, right? Because the daily storyline just started here, and it's the roadblock for the weekly. So the weekly can't get to this level unless it breaks this level, right? So now we're just following the storyline, right? So then now I go to the 4-hour time frame, and this is the logic and how I came up with direction and where it's going, right? So this is the only 4-hour roadblock that's preventing price from continuing to go down, right? That's preventing price to go up. Sorry. So that's why if price breaks this level, it's going to come to this level, right? And then it's going to complete the daily storyline. So a daily will always go to a daily unless it respects the 4-hour roadblock. So that's how you figure out direction, and that's how you can pretty much always know where price is going. And that's pretty much what I do every day to figure out direction. So I hope that brings a little bit more clarity in terms of storyline and direction. But that's basically how it works. A story starts and finishes on the time frame that the candle closes, right? So this is the daily, right? So then I'm expecting, and it closed as a bearish candle, right? So I'm expecting it to come back to the daily level, but I don't know if it's going to go there unless it can get through the roadblock on the 4-hour time frame, which is this level right here. And the only way we'll know that is by the closing price of this, whether the body breaks it or respects it. Basically, if the candle respects or breaks it is what we'll be able to tell. So if the candle ends up breaking this level, we know price is going to come here, right? So the other thing too is how you can be confident in terms of direction. So this is the roadblock, right? This is the roadblock once more. Daily closed as a bearish candle, right? So there's a 4-hour roadblock, right? So until price gets to this roadblock, you'd be looking for buys, right? I know I said that price is going to come here, or it could come down here first and then go up, but if we're following the storyline, then the storyline says that price is going to go to a daily level, which is up here, and the roadblock is on the 4-hour time frame. So we're following direction, so that's why price came here. So you could have looked for a buy opportunity. I know I just shared this to you guys in the group, but basically the opportunity that you would have saw was this. I'll just show you real quick. Very simple stuff, right? So nine o'clock candle, breakout, pullback entry, right? So this candle, this would have been your entry, this pullback here. So on the 1-hour time frame, if you look at it, it looks like what? It looks like a higher low, right? Doesn't it look like a higher low? And this would have been your entry point, and then you would have targeted this 4-hour level because that's exactly where it's going, and or continuing to hold the trade. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's how we determine direction. So I hope that was helpful as a refreshment. So yeah, let's see what the rest of the day has for us. Thanks, guys.